your level of concern, RJ, when you saw come across your timeline that Rayne Dakota Prescott was limited today with an ankle, and that being said ankle that he had surgery on not once but twice, sir?
Honestly, maybe like a 2. I think 2 is like the bare minimum. Like,
okay.
I definitely give Dak the benefit of the doubt. But then I talk myself into, well, if there was, a big problem going on, he certainly would play it as cool as he did. But I mean, I buy the explanation. I'm not a Jordan guy myself. I'm not that sophisticated. You mentioned, you have a kid, and that, you don't have the funds for Jordan at that point in your life. And so,
facts.
So I understand. We've all had a weird pair of shoes. I do question, like, hey, why is this, like, how is there not, like, an established routine? Like, how are you not doing the same kind of thing at this point in time? I get that it's it's week 1 and whatnot, but I'm very much anticipating a full participant in practice tomorrow for Dak and kind of squashing this story, however much life people are putting into it.
Okay, let's talk about the Cowboys versus this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. We know it's going to be all about the defensive lines for both teams. Where do you see the advantage on those lines? And the reason I'm bringing it up, because we know the offensive lines for both teams are hampered, but the defensive lines are – we know the Cowboys have a younger defensive line, but could you break down any parts about the Cowboys defensive line that could be better than the storied defensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I mean, it depends if you're kind of including Micah Parsons in that mix, right? And if you are, then, I mean, that's kind of an obvious answer.
That's it.
But I do think that, outside of that kind of chalkness, if we're like stretching, if we're like, okay, what are what's the positive wind in the sails of the Cowboys this year? I mean, we talk so much about regression of the mean in a lot of different ways. There's going to be regression of the mean as far as DeMarcus Lawrence's involvement on this team. Kind of barely played a year ago. Neville Gallimore barely played for this team a year ago, and I think that's my answer. I'm big on the Instagram this year because I do have a son, so I got to work on embarrassing him in the future. And I'm working on a post for tomorrow on the weekend. It's kind of like 5 players to pay mind to, and Neville Gallimore is one of them for me because Tampa's damaged, obviously like Dallas, along the offensive line, along the interior there. And I think Neville Gallimore could be somebody who swings this game one way. I mean, you could see kind of a disruption, a strip sack, just causing all sorts of havoc. I could totally see that being the advantage that Dallas has. Not that Tampa doesn't have some strong and stout interior defensive linemen, but I really, really, really think that Neville Gallimore's flying under the radar overall.
Buffalo,
I agree with you. Boomer Sooner.
Buffalo makes a statement. They go 9 plays, 75 yards in 5 minutes and 4 seconds, and they score. Josh Allen on the touchdown passes. They are now up 6-0, pending the extra point. The Buffalo Bills getting started early tonight in Los Angeles. Gabe Davis on the touchdown reception from Josh Allen. It's SB Nation's Blogging the Boys. This is RJ Ochoa joining us right here on the Get Right with Reggie KG on 105.3 The Fan.
We mentioned these 2 defensive lines for the Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I truly believe the first month of the season, though, offenses should probably have the advantage because of the way training camps and the no more two-a-days and the way there's only 3 preseason games are playing out. I don't think teams will be able to hunker down until, they won't be able to show what they really do, both sides of the ball, until maybe October. What do you think, RJ?
I think that's really well said, and I think that, I don't know how secretive I think Mike McCarthy is, although obviously kind of playing around with things today, talking about Michael Gallup and stuff. This is the dude who once stripped names and numbers off of practice jerseys after all. But, I mean, like, the thing that I've kind of thought about a lot this week is, do y'all feel like you've seen this offense? No. In any kind of, right? Do you feel like you've seen Dalton Schultz? I mean, again,
No.
I'm not saying that nothing's happened, but I mean, we haven't seen the collection all together. Dak, Dalton, Zeke, Pollard, CeeDee. Even the scrimmage against the Chargers the 2 days, CeeDee had cut his foot, so we didn't get to see that happen. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm not saying I'm ready to be amazed, but I'm ready to be, surprised, and I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to kind of just figure out who these dudes are going to be. I do kind of feel like we've just watched this defense have success against different versions of the offense, but not the one that we're going to see week in and week out starting Sunday.
When you look at this team going into Sunday Night Football, obviously we've talked about a lot of the concerns for this Cowboys team going up against Tampa Bay. What's one thing that we aren't talking about that could be a real decision?
Oh, get the dog. Get the dog. Get the dog. Keep him away from the baby.
We ordered food because it's Thursday night and there's football on, and we're too lazy to cook anything. And so,
I feel that.
Uber Eats is there.
That's exactly what happened here. The food was delivered, and little Bear was upset by it.
No, I feel
It
that.
happens in my house too. I swear to God, my dog barks like it's a burglar now. Uber Eats.
Tell me what thing that you feel like we aren't talking about right now that could give the Cowboys the edge against Tampa on Sunday night.
I think the answer is probably Dak, right? Like, I mean, again, that is super chalk, and not that nobody has talked about Dak, not that nobody's given him any attention of any kind, but, I mean, we saw, you know, an MVP-like player a year ago, and granted, that dude faded as the season went on, but, I mean, if that's the person who shows up with CeeDee Lamb, you know, ascending into this alpha sort of role week in and week out, then yeah, I mean, that masks a lot of problems. That takes care of all the issues. And if Dak can overcome this kind of, you know, put together with twigs and duct tape and glue offensive line, then I think that, you know, the setup is here for Dak's MVP year, right? Like, if the Cowboys win 12 games, you know, whatever, and a lot of this is contingent on what happens across the NFL. If Josh Allen, you know, scores on every possession like he just did or whatever, I mean, that affects things. But I mean, could you not see, like, if you have to decide something happened, if I come back from the future and I tell you the Cowboys were, you know, in the NFC Championship game, what is the reason why? You would both say Dak went off. And so I think if he does that in the year where everybody doubted the Cowboys, everybody favored the Eagles, the quarterback of America's team, this is Dak's stage. And, you know, I'm kind of excited. This is like when Justin Timberlake came out with the Suit and Tie album. You know what I mean? He was back, and he delivered in massive fashion.
I'm bringing sexy back.
No. He's talking about the 2020 experience.
Yes, right. With Jay-Z.
Yeah. That's a good callback, though. That's a good callback.
Oh, one other note about Dak. Here's something he does not have in common with these other guys. Okay, he has this in common, but there's a little twist to it. Aaron Rodgers lost his top receiver, Devontae Adams. Patrick Mahomes lost his top receiver, Tyreek Hill. Dak Prescott lost his top receiver, Amari Cooper. No one's really worried about Mahomes. Nobody's worried about Rodgers. Why is there such concern about Dak?
I mean, I think because, and I don't doubt that Dak is still an elite quarterback, but because we've never seen him be one without Amari, right? Like, Amari saved him, you know, and saved the team, right?
Saved the whole team. Saved the coaching staff.
Amari unlocked Dak and helped us kind of, I mean, not that any of us were doubting who Dak was, but that early part of that 2018 season, y'all remember there were people like, this, you can't pay this guy, whatever. And so, and to your point, CA, I mean, you know, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a CeeDee Lamb. I recognize that Patrick Mahomes has, you know, a Travis Kelce, but, you know, Dak may be without his number one like those guys are, but he also has a potential superstar receiver on his team in the way that neither of those other two dudes do. Again, Mahomes does have Kelce, and Rodgers is Rodgers, but I mean, and there's the Cowboys factor of it all, but I do think it's because Amari unlocked him. And so can you do it? Can you prove it without him? Because the last time you tried, it went so badly.
You can find him on Twitter at RJ Ochoa. He's the managing editor for SB Nation's blog, and the boys will go let him enjoy his food before his dog eats it all or eats the person who delivered it. RJ, as always, my man, appreciate the time. Go enjoy yourself NFL opening night here on Thursday Night Football.
Thanks, RJ.
Thanks a lot, guys. It's Jason's Deli, because I know everybody was curious. Y'all have a great night.
All right, man. There he goes.